Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, out on another walk, and with me is Mr. Richard Suggett. Hello, Richard.
Hello, Richard.
We're doing a rather different walk today because we have, in your grubby little hand, a guidebook, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a guidebook from what, the 1920s?
1920s, 1930s, we think. It's certainly very old.
It's very old, and it's published by Southern Railway. We're by a railway station. In fact, that's Pulborough railway station. And the purpose of this video and some other videos that we're going to make is to chart some of the walks in Sussex or the southeast that this is written about, and see if the walks that they have in here match up with the landscape of today, because they describe a landscape that, what, nearly 100 years ago, potentially, 90 years, 100 years, has changed and gone. And I'm interested in that change and how rapidly everything's gone under concrete. So this is walk number 8 from our little book, which costs sixpence.
Sixpence originally, yes.
Yeah. So what's our first port of call then? What are we saying in the book?
Well, it said, for my second walk from Pulborough, I started my first along the footpath directly opposite the entrance to the railway station.
So the railway station is there, right? And directly the opposite means, well, I would have said there, but there is a path just there, just to our left.
Yes.
So we should head up that way?
We should head up that way, but I think it would be prudent to note there is something of change already. The station back then used to have a line that went off to Fittleworth and Petworth.
Oh right, yes, of course.
That doesn't exist anymore.
So where would that have gone from? That must have gone down and round.
Down and round,
yeah.
Looking on, there's a map on here.
Yeah.
I'll just bring that up. Yeah, down and round,
and then
across the river and then round.
Gone east and west, wouldn't it? Yeah, instead of north and south, because normally this would be on the
Victoria line.
Yeah, down to Bognor, presumably. Yeah. Right, we'll crack on. So, down that way? So this is the footpath then, Richard.
It is, yes.
And it goes on a bit. It's now sort of come away from the station, but the industrial estate, that wouldn't have been there, would it?
That would not. No, we looked back on some maps, some old maps, and that was a sand pit around this
right.
part
Oh
of this
right.
block.
Oh okay. So they've obviously filled that in. And built on.
Built it. I mean, I remember there's a load of houses down there. I remember those being built.
Oh right.
So
oh okay.
They're fairly recent.
And then these trees, you've got trees all around us here. Yep. They would have been much smaller 100 years ago. They may not have even been here. These may only be about 80 years. So this, and it's tarmacked. So this route would probably just be dirt track.
Yes, I mean we're next to the glebe field at the moment, the church glebe field. So they may not even had this fence here.
No, that's true. Right, let's press on. Wow. Well, Richard, I think we found the pond.
Oh, definitely. He references the bridge crossing the cutting in this book, and then he turned north past Old Place.
Right.
Which is a manor.
It's a manor. We just passed a beautiful old house. And when's it from? 1500s or something?
1500s, if I remember right. Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful place. But he failed to notice something.
Yes, he said he failed to notice the stone head of Saturn in the yard.
So what is the stone head of Saturn? Being a god, obviously, and the stone head must have been from a statue or something that may have been excavated, or we don't know.
Perhaps it was a decoration.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Nothing there.
No.
No, well, that we could see anyway.
So then he carries on.
He carries on past the Coop Pond, which is what we have here.
This here.
And
which is a fish pond. On old maps it says fish pond.
Yeah, yeah. And a waterfall, which we can just about hear just further up there.
Yeah,
which we'll have
can
a look at in a
just
bit.
about hear the water. I'm interested to see. I mean, what's interesting, this is all like near Pulborough, but it's suddenly you get off the main road and we're in the quiet and you can hear the water trickling down.
Yeah. Well, this building here is called Mill Cottage, and that must have been a water mill originally, possibly when
Right.
he wrote this,
Ah,
which would make sense.
does he reference the water mill in there?
He doesn't.
He
no,
doesn't. Oh, okay.
which is a shame.
All
But
right.
he does reference something about a battlemented fortress in the middle of a stream.
Let's go and have a look.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wow. Look at that.
Wow.
Blimey. Now, that's the sort of tree that Julia would like, for sure.
We'll have to bring her here.
Massive root system on that. Oh, it's amazing. Beautiful old oak, of course. So, Richard, let's just recap what we've done. We've gone to the waterfall,
Yeah.
such as it was, but actually we heard the water. When we got there, it's culverted, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a stream that we
stream.
think may have been running parallel to the line that we're on.
Yes.
Is that right?
We think so. I mean, it's hard to tell, but because there was a culvert that came along that line.
Yeah.
So I think that was put in and then the ground filled over where that stream was. Because it makes a mention in this book about a battlemented fortress in the middle of a stream.
A battlemented fortress, and
Yeah.
so probably a model,
Yeah.
you know, in the
Something
middle of
like
a
that.
stream, not a real fortress, because
No.
clearly there would be evidence of that.
And he even says it looks so solid that it must have been built of cement.
Right, so obviously a smallish thing, but all gone, clearly
Yeah.
gone. It goes for a deep cutting, doesn't he?
Yes, he says the bridle path led straight on through some farm buildings and above a very ancient deep cutting, a sort of smuggler's way.
So we've found farm buildings, which are now private residences. We think that's what he means.
Yeah.
So unless the cutting is here, it's not terribly deep, but we'll just have a little further sneaky look up there. And we're only about 2 paragraphs in on the book,
Yeah.
which is ludicrous.
But the smuggler's way makes a lot of sense because Pulborough has a deep history of smugglers.
Does
So,
it?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Let's go and have a look round the corner and see if we can find the smuggler's way.
Yeah.
These are old stalls, hedgerow things,
Yeah.
cottage trees, sycamore. Oh wait, yeah, sycamore. Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is the, oh sorry, this
right.
is the, clearly the actual old path, the smuggler's way, that our author, he's not even named, is he?
S.P.B. Mais.
Oh yes, S.P. Mais. We should have mentioned him at the beginning. When he took his walk in the 20s or 30s, he would have come up here. The path has actually been bypassed, or it's parallel, and it goes further up there. So there are some changes in that 90 odd years,
Yeah.
which is, you know, on a walk it's worth noticing. Now this carries on, goes up towards the River Arun and the locks at
Yep.
Pallingham.
Yep, that's right. Yes. Yeah.
But we haven't got time in this video, we've got to bring it to a halt, so we haven't really gone very far, and we've only gone a couple of paragraphs
Yeah.
in his book. It's probably a good 5-mile walk or something, and we've actually really only traversed about a mile or so. But in that mile, it's amazing how much change has happened.
But it's also amazing how much is similar as well. The roads
Yes.
are still here.
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
houses.
And if you look, you know, this old trench is here, this deep cutting. And I think that's one of the fascinating things, because it's level and then it's level there, but there's this, and this must have been borne out by people walking, travelling on this old route, which is no longer a route.
No.
Because why else have you got this cutting? No one's going to dig it.
No, and this is, as we say, full of smugglers to hide in.
Yeah, yeah. But it's quite a length. I reckon it goes a few 100 yards, this deep cutting, and it's probably silted up a bit in that time as well. Anyway,
Sure.
thank you so much for joining us on this walk. Our intention is to do more of these and possibly carry on this walk a little bit later on in the year. Hope you will enjoy that. In the meantime, leave a comment. Let us know what you think, what you thought of it, and if there's any walks that you fancy us going on, or if you've got any guidebooks that you could recommend from the past. Be very interested in those. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you for having me, Richard.
It's been a joy.
Always.
Till the next time. Goodbye. Right, I'm going to go and do some smuggling. Where'd you put the swag? Shh. Shh. Stand inside.